Sorry.
3, 2, 1, let's get it.
Welcome to Candid Connections live podcast where we dive into everything from life, love, relationships, real talk, no filters. I'm one of your hosts.
I'm your host, Janelle Lene. And I'm your host, Gaynell Lachey. Carl.
There you go.
Carl, your turn. Introduce yourself. Can he hear us?
Get more of your body in the frame.
Can you hear us? Introduce yourself, Carl. He must be having.
We're just boycotting the whole conversation. That's why we're not talking.
What?
Yeah, it's got technical difficulties. Well, while we wait on my dog Carl, I'm an anonymous guest, and I'll be contributing from the men's perspective tonight on the topic.
He ain't been out for too long.
Tiffany-
But before we get started, I like to put out a disclaimer. We are not certified relationship experts. We're just a bunch of friends who like to talk about casual conversations in life, love, and life. So let's get candid.
Mike check, Carl. You can hear us now?
I can hear you now. I'm your guest resident, giving you the real male perspective. Carl Wade, let's get it.
Okay, so since all the last couple of weeks we've been on the women, now it's y'all men's turn. So today's topic is, why do men cheat? Can y'all tell us why y'all cheat?
All right. So today's topic is, why do women make men cheat? Huh? What do you think
Where's
about
the
that?
accountability?
Question. You know, women always want to turn the question around on, we've been having some good conversations, and women don't want to take accountability for them. So even in this conversation, let's talk about why. Why do men cheat? Y'all kind of been egging this question on throughout our other episodes. So let's get down to it. I'm gonna tell you like this: men don't cheat. Real men,
I guess black men.
real men don't cheat. Now,
True.
as boys, they go out and get girlfriends and want to get other girlfriends, and they're playing the fields, and that's what boys do. But when a real man decides to get a woman, he gonna do everything he need to keep that woman. Now, I can answer that question a couple of ways, because if you keep asking why men cheat, then you really have to reevaluate that question, because again, men don't cheat. And if you keep saying that, then it's a reason why that man who may be in a boy mode he may be in a boy mode and still be cheating, or majority of the time it's the woman who causes him to move on. She allows that to happen.
It's interesting that the word accountability came up. And naturally, Carl and I have spent some time along with some of our other counterpart men friends and having this conversation. And if we're going to have it, I'm part of the beauty of when you all share things, we get a chance to learn. And what I want to encourage women to on tonight's conversation is, while we are oftentimes playful, take some consideration to what's being said and an opportunity to learn, because by no means is this an attack at any woman in specifically, but I just want you to please take some consideration on some of the things we share with you all. So one of which is, the reason I put that picture up about that was being playful. Why do women make men cheat? Because the lens truly comes from the idea of the women or the woman being the cause. And while one will say naturally, oh, that's not being responsible, just go with me. So now a man has an unmet need. When we talked about roles and responsibilities, the question is now, is it the man's responsibility to meet his own need, or is the partner's responsibility to meet a man's need? And I believe that a responsible woman would say, it's my responsibility to meet my man's needs. So now, if the man's needs are not being met, that's one reason that a man might cheat. What do you think, Carl?
If you got a man and he's a man, you should not give him any reason to cheat. There should be no reason for him to cheat. If he's a man, because you said he's a man, he's taking care of business. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. You chose a man, not a little boy. And so in return, that woman should be doing her part. And if she's lacking in her part, then he's possibly straying away in other departments. He's going to get his needs met in other departments.
Okay, I have a question.
So, ladies, what do you all think about the idea of an unmet need? Go ahead, Gaynell.
Of an unmet need, I feel like you should communicate that to your partner. I feel like when we was talking about why do women cheat, you all was like, it's not the man's fault. We pushed it on the man because why we cheat. So, in listening to you all, it seems like you're pushing it on a woman as to why the men cheat. And that's why I brought up accountability, because that was brought up when we was talking about why do women cheat. So it's like, what are your accountability as a man on your actions versus blaming her for why you cheat? Hello? Right.
We were just making sure that your thoughts were well articulated. We wanted to be gentlemen and make sure you
I'm
got your
done.
words out. You're done. Okay, great. I have to go back and revisit that episode. It was last year.
Here's my thought process.
What you got to know?
A man can cheat no matter if his needs are being met or not. If he sees Sally walking down the street and he got Jane at home and Sally look good to him, he gonna go up to Sally while Jane is still at home. That Jane could be the perfect wife, the perfect girlfriend. If that man don't have any discipline or control, he's gonna cheat regardless. He don't gotta have a reason.
I think that, that's a valid point as an idea. So I got a question. I think the last time I was in Kansas City, we all went out to eat, right? I had a chance to, politic with one another in each other's presence. And I'm just asking, like in general, like when we go and we eat, let's call it an all-you-can-eat bar, or just we're full. Do we keep eating?
No.
Okay. So your needs are being met, right? So I'm just saying, you guys wanted this conversation. I'm telling you that if a man's needs are met, he's good. Like, if we got to go there, we got to go there. Even when the moment happens of access, right? There comes a time and place when everything comes to a great moment, right? Is this thing on? Like hello? Y'all here?
We listening. We listening.
Okay. So when that moment of climax happens, don't everybody sit down and sit still? Like I'm saying, isn't there a break involved, or maybe we're done for the night? Yes or no?
It could
Yes,
be.
yes.
That man can climax and go to the next woman bed.
What I'm telling you is, in that moment, have you ever experienced that, or are you just saying it because you saw it on Lifetime Movie Network? I'm just saying, I'm saying.
In that moment, okay, just because he in that moment, what about the next day and next day and next day?
Okay, but I'm just saying, are the needs met? Yes or no? We're not talking about the next day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay, so when the next day comes, does he have a new set of needs?
Probably so.
Okay, so while I get your point and kind of going back to what Carl said, could a person with the gender of being a male, could they move around in the way that you all describing? Sure. But the question tonight was, why do men cheat? And we're talking about men. So a man who has his needs met doesn't cheat. Carl, what do you think?
You leave a man with his stomach full and what? He's going to be good. And it's your job to take care of him. There should be no other woman that should be able to tell him how handsome he is, how strong he is, get close to him to even give him access, because all the access is coming from his woman, because she's meeting all his needs. Somewhere in there, when she's not meeting her needs, because again, we're talking about a man who's doing this, and you saying a man who cheats. Now, Janelle said, there's always an exception. There's probably always that one exception, greedy man who's just greedy. But here's the thing. There's a separation between boys and men. And if you're choosing this man keeps cheating, then it's not him. It's probably you.
And listen, look, y'all talked about the other episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, we had an opportunity to learn as men how to keep that woman from being at that place, right? We talked about meeting a woman's emotional needs, right? Meeting a woman's ability to communicate. We talked about, hey, make sure we're helping the woman out at home, right? Well, these are all things and valid points, very valid points. They were all valid points, right? Do y'all agree that the things that you all shared were valid points? Yes? Okay, I'm telling you this is a valid point. If it is the priority of a woman, not even priority, forget priority. If as a woman, your desire is to make sure that your man's needs are met, we good. That's not the area. Now, there are some other areas. We're going to talk about other areas, but even if y'all got to come back to this episode and just take it with the same way that Carl and I took grace with what you all shared. If you're interested in being on point with your guy, ask the question, am I meeting this man's needs? Or ask Bae the question, baby, am I meeting your needs? And be there in the same way that you all ask us. All right, that's that point.
Tiffany, would you like to
Okay.
say something?
As someone who
Wait, and furthermore, no, I'm just kidding. Go ahead,
as
Tiffany.
someone who has
Come
been
on,
cheated
sis.
on and went to therapy with the person who cheated on me, one thing that our therapist said, who was a black man, said he was like, when that person cheated on you, and your first question is why? Like, what's going on? Because I didn't see it coming. And his response was, I'm so sorry. I don't know. I don't know why I did it. I'm stupid. I don't know why I did that. And so that was the answer. So in talking to the therapist, and I'm saying, and I don't understand that here my heart is broken, and he's saying he don't know. Like, I don't know is not good enough for me. And the therapist was like, because women are emotional creatures. Men are not emotional like that. So when a woman cheats because there's something going on. A woman cheats because it's over. Men can cheat because it's Tuesday. And he was like, his answer, the I don't know answer, that's true. He don't know. It's not that he don't love you. It's not that he didn't do that you did anything wrong. There was a situation where he didn't think he was going to get caught. He didn't think anybody was going to see it. What's the harm in it? Or he didn't think anybody was going to find out. What's the harm? Had nothing to do with you, meaning had nothing to do with me. It was just available.
Correct. So
So
fire the
I'm glad
therapist.
you said that, Tiffany, because when most men cheat, they never really have an answer. They never say why they cheat. They say, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. It just happened. But it's never a reason why. They never can explain to you why they cheat. So that's why we brought up this conversation today.
So
Why?
let me share with y'all something. Anytime a person tells you that they don't know why, they're not being honest with you.
Well, duh.
We're gonna be candid about the conversation, and even with that therapist, and even with your ex-husband, if he said he didn't know, they're not being honest. So there could be another thing. So let's get into some. I want to kind of give y'all a list of maybe some deviant thoughts and ideas that might be considered. Number one, a man may have a low amount of self-esteem. That's a possibility. I'm not saying it as an excuse, but I'm saying this could be a thing. Number two, it could be him exploring his identity as a man, which still kind of is tied to your self-esteem in a way that, again, Tiffany, for sure, I'm not saying it's your job to make him feel like a man, but as men, when we grow into being men, at the end of the day, the things that make us feel like men, it's not men. It comes from women, right? The first person to ever tell a man, I love you, probably was mom. And the first time that dad said it, I don't know if it ever mattered, right? And so, with that being said, if it's not low self esteem or if it's not identity exploration, it may just be because an opportunity presented itself where, again, it's not because he doesn't know. It's because he wants to explore. That is the answer. Whether he can articulate it, the inability to articulate it doesn't mean that a man cheats randomly. It's never random. It's never random. It could be tied to self esteem. It could be tied to being
Ego.
bored. It could be tied to ego. It's always something. It's never, I just fell in some ass last night. That's never that.
It's never
Agreed.
random.
It's never random.
And again,
We've been trying to
but
So
say
it's intentional. So you say it's never random, so it's intentional.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
and it's funny how women now listen to the point when that male is doing that, because we've talked about it before. There are signs. Or there is some needs that are not being met. And I'm just talking in general. Question: If you are out with your man, and let's talk about men's roles first before I even go into this. Men's and women's roles is: men is to protect, provide security. What's the woman's role? Nurture, be feminine, right? So a scenario, your man is in it, is walking down the street with you, and a guy jump out and try to attack you. What do you expect to happen?
Him to protect.
Every single time, right? If somebody jumped out on you every single day, you expect him to protect you every single day. Is that correct? So even in that scenario, a man is always meeting his needs. He's always doing providing security, whether it's physically, financially, emotionally. If he's doing what he's supposed to do, and he's your man, that's what you count on him for. Now, men are very simple creatures. Men are very, very simple creatures. They do want that nurturing. They ask for a lot of stuff, and sometimes they get turned down on a lot of stuff. And it get to a point, again, we talked about this, where a man is telling their woman this, and at a point where she's not listening, he stops talking. So we saying, we're not communicating. By the time a woman listens again, they done figured out he's off doing something else. And now a woman want to listen because they haven't did what they were supposed to do in most situations. And I'm talking in general.
I have a question. So, Janelle, Gaynell, I want to talk to you guys because I feel like there's a little bit of gaslighting going on.
That's what I'm about to say.
Thank you, because I want to say the same thing. It ain't like these men taking accountability.
Right, because there's always, well, what did you do wrong? Well, and then it was, well, you aren't meeting his needs. There's never that man was a messed up individual and he shouldn't have done that to you. And then I'm constantly hearing, well, a man is supposed to provide and protect, provide and protect, provide and protect. If somebody breaks in your house, what do you expect the man to do? Or how many times, let me ask the both of you, since you two have been an adult, how many times has that man had to jump up and go fight off an intruder because somebody done broke in your house?
That's just one
Zero.
example. We can talk about emotional
Well,
protection. How many times have your girl at the job done talk bad to you, or you done did something irritating, and you done came home and told your man, and he gave you that emotional safety? So I can give multiple examples. That was just one example of physical safety, just to kind of highlight a man's role. And again, a man is going to listen and do what he needs to do every single time.
It just feels like women's duties never end. It's daily. Men's duties are occasional. And sometimes not even that. Even with the scenario of how many times do you come home and talk about the lady at work and I got to sit there and listen? Okay, how many times versus how many times do I have to come home and cook?
Who's keeping
How many
count?
times?
Who's keeping count?
You said what?
Who's keeping count?
Okay, right. Because here's the thing, a woman's job, or what men
Every day.
expect women to do, is a daily task. The things that men need to do in a relationship are perhaps extremely
Periodically.
occasional. Extremely occasional.
So are you implying that?
Playing field.
So is there an implication that women have more responsibilities in a relationship than men? That's what it sounds like you're saying. That needs to be
Women are
resolved.
expected to do more than men. And if you don't come home and cook every day, or if you don't, then it's, oh, well, you weren't meeting my needs. Do I need to have somebody come break in the house every night to keep you on your job?
It sounds like you want men to turn their masculinity off. Men don't turn their masculinity off. They're always masculine. They have to be that, and we want women to always be feminine and nurturing. But somewhere in the breakdown, women always got headaches somewhere. Got too many headaches
Because we do so much. So
and they don't want to cook all the time, and they want to complain. But men don't, and that's another double standard, because men are who they are.
And men don't also have all the responsibility as a woman. The woman got to go to work. The woman got to come home and cook. She got to take care of the kids. She got to do laundry. She got to clean the house.
And that's what
the woman is doing all that. But what is the man doing?
Every day, daily.
Ladies,
cut the grass here and there.
I want to ask this question
Taking out
one
the
more
trash
time.
is only once a week.
The statement was, and I just want to, what's up, AB? AB in the chat. What's up, Sloan? He in the chat. I want to make sure y'all hearing y'all say this. You all are under the impression and are stating as women that women have more responsibilities in a relationship than a man, correct?
Not necessarily. Saying daily. Like the daily responsibility of the woman.
Okay, so there's 365 days in a year. Multiply the days times 365.
Yes.
Okay, so Janelle is saying yes. Okay, good. I like that. That's good. Tiffany, you saying yes?
Saying, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We have to do so much to keep you happy, because God forbid I slip up. Then it's my fault and you just run off to the next trawler, because you can't, not you, but I'm saying some men, not saying the two of you, can't be man enough to say, you know what, my needs aren't being met here, my needs aren't being met there. Instead of just saying that, it's, oh, well, so-and-so over here will meet my needs. But sometimes those women who can meet your needs, the girl next door, around the corner, whatever, she don't have the responsibility that I have. All she got to do is you buck and get up. I got to do everything else for you. Then you still come home to me.
Right. And she don't have to deal with you and the outside world and everything that you're going through. She only get the fun part and the entertaining part, while you get everything in between.
You get the hard work, you get the frustration, you get everything. But she don't get that. She, like Tiffany said, she get to just lay there and, give you what you want, and that's feeding your ego. Because you don't have to deal with the pressures at home, because your woman is a mirror of you and a reflection of you. So you go out there so you don't have to face the mirror.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Really? Is this thing on?
Yeah, I'm taking my time. I'm taking notes and all of that. I'm writing this down.
I'm soaking.
We have a comment. We have a couple of comments.
Mm-hmm. Why you go to the comments?
One person said every male in this world should have multiple women, period.
Sloan,
Because,
hello. Sloan.
AB said fitness or lack of plays a big part of infidelity.
So AB, you know what they getting ready to say. They ain't got time to go to the gym because they so busy with the, saying the other responsibilities.
No, some of us do go to the gym and still do
I'm
everything
just saying,
else.
I am, like you use the word gaslighting. I am very interested in this idea about more roles for women than it is for men. Like, I feel like we got to go back to the roles and responsibilities podcast, because it did not seem as if you all dominated that conversation with only what you do or what you're supposed to do. I think that conversation was equal, and in a relationship, there should be some equality as we define a healthy relationship. So,
Can we really be honest and be like, can you really say that men
Mhm.
and women responsibilities are equal?
Okay, so tell me something that a woman does that you guys have not asked for a man to help you with. We getting off topic, but let's do it. Give me one, because y'all said, give me one.
You said tell you something that women do that men don't ask for or do ask
No,
for.
just what you give me a thing that women do at home that is exclusive to the woman.
Nothing is exclusive.
Okay, good. So it's not exclusive. What is something that happens that the man doesn't do? So let's call it cooking. Let me help you out with this. Because y'all say we come home and we cook, right? So the women do most of the cooking, correct?
Mm-hmm. Unless you got,
Is it-
unless you got a man that does the cooking, but majority of
Okay,
the time,
but
yes.
majority of the time. Okay. So when you go out to eat, who does most of the paying going out to eat?
That's not the same. You
Hold
sit
on.
up.
I'm just talking
You
about
sit up
eating.
and cook. No, because you're trying to gaslight. You sit it most of the time.
Listen,
People eat
to
at
use the
home more than
can
go
I be
out.
honest? When you use the word gaslighting, we're this is a mature conversation. I'm not trying to trick nobody into nothing. I don't care nothing about that. I'm
No, I'm
asking a
not
question.
saying you're trying to. I think that
It's
it
not
is
a gaslight. It's a
it's
question. Like
it's
you
for you to
I'm
say what you're
asking a question. Just answer the question. You guys are fighting the answer. When you
okay.
talk about
I'll
accountability, the fact that you are fighting the answer means that there's an issue.
I will answer. So I make sure that we eat 80% of the time. And when we go out to eat and he pays, that's 20% of the time.
When you go out to eat, do you ever pay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he ever cook?
No.
Okay. Can he cook? Because he might not be a person that can cook. That may be a whole nother thing. My point is,
You gonna make it because you gonna make it. Gotta be a reason.
I'm just saying at the end of the day, it's a mutually shared responsibility. It is not exclusive to the woman. So if it was exclusive to the woman, let me paint the picture of what I'm saying so it's not a gaslight. If it was exclusive to the woman and only the woman, she would cook at home and she would take care of the food when we went out to eat. Then it would just be all food, all woman, all the time. That's my point. So if you're not saying it's all the time, then it means it's shared. Period. It doesn't matter. That's why I say stop talking about keeping count, 80% and all of that. It's a relationship. Do we make sure that we eat as a couple? Do we make sure we good when it comes to eating? Yes or no? So to keep in count about 80% and 20%, that is irrelevant. Next topic, next thing that y'all do that's exclusive to women.
We're saying that it's not equal. It's not balanced. So
You
no, we're
keep
saying
talking-
that nothing is exclusive. We're saying that nothing is exclusive, but
Okay.
it's not. We're not on the same playing field either.
Because you're keeping count. Love don't keep count.
And you don't even want to be on the same
count.
playing field as a man. You don't want someone equal than you. You want someone that's more. You want someone to do more. We've talked about this.
No, what you're saying though is if women aren't doing specific things for men, that's why men go out and cheat.
Ain't that why you?
You guys said your needs are not being met somewhere. That's why men go out and cheat.
My
So what
point
we're
is,
saying-
it is the same answer that you all gave. You said my needs, not mine, women's needs for communication don't get met. That's a need not being met. Are we on the same page here? Like, I'm just asking, when we talked about the women, were we not talking about communication and emotional stability not being met? Yes or no? So was that a need? Do women need that? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes,
they need
but
that.
wait a minute.
Okay,
But
then
what
what's
I'm
the
saying,
difference
no,
when we say a man?
I'm
That ain't
saying is
gaslighting.
when
That's
we
just
talk
us
about
saying it.
women, when we talked about women, the one thing that all three of us stood on is sometimes or most of the time, whatever, we leave the relationship. We leave. Women don't necessarily. I've never seen, and I'm not saying it's not out there. I've never seen a woman in a relationship with two different men for 3, 4, 5 years the way men can do it. Women normally, if I cheat or it's because I'm done with the relationship, it's over for me in my head.
That's
And
gaslighting. Because you
that's
said I'm
why
done, but you still there. You can't be
men, it's
done if you're
please.
still there.
You said
Well,
what?
That's
And we talked
gaslighting.
about
You said
that.
I'm done, but you still there. That's gaslighting. We're
well,
done in
men
the
do the same
relationship, but you're
thing.
still there with the man. If you're done, it ain't cheating. If you're done, you just with another nigga. That's it. If you with a guy and you're cheating, you're not done. You're cheating.
No, I'm done.
No,
No, I'm done. I'm completely done. Maybe
But
you don't know,
if
because
you
here's the
haven't
thing with
told,
right.
women. With women, if there's a situation where a woman is dealing with another man and she was in a relationship with this person, I can almost guarantee you, not confidently, but most of the time women stop having sex when they're done. So if I'm over here having sex with somebody else, I can guarantee you I'm not having sex with you no more.
I got you.
That's not
but
happening.
here's the thing: they're still soaking up that man's resources.
They're
Hello.
still what?
Hello, y'all, you didn't
You
hear
said
that?
What
Tap that.
resource? They said
Come on,
something.
come on in.
My
Come
mic
on
wasn't
in.
on. They are still soaking up that man's resources.
We're gonna revert this
So
back
now,
to
Right.
so now
Wait,
they're
wait,
the
cheating.
kind of ability or why
No,
do men
because you
cheat.
can. Because here's the thing with in my situation. Well, here's the thing in situations when I was when I found out what happened, I left. I left my house. I'll sit around. I don't care about your resources. I don't care about your last name.
And
I
again,
don't care that.
Tiffany, you a different breed. We asked you different. You a different breed. So even every episode, you know,
That's true.
we know this. Our viewers are finding this out. But let's talk about the women in general. You know, there are
Okay.
some Tiffany's out here who stand on that, and we'll do that. But the majority of the women is doing this. Is what we're talking about.
They still at the house, Tiffany. We know you out. We know you out, sis. But I'm saying they still at the
Okay.
house. They still driving the car that the ninja done bought her. You know what I'm saying? They still hanging out. They still going on trips. But they got, slow said, Tiffany will cut you.
Oh.
We turn the comments off so I can focus.
So let's reverse this. Well, like you said, they still at the house. What about the men? They still at the house and at her house too. So where is the accountability?
I want to make sure too that because I'm hearing the word
And
accountability.
we saying general.
By no means are we saying that the deviant behavior of men is acceptable. If a man is cheating, it's not right. I'm not saying. Remember, we said why. We didn't ask if it's right. You're asking for what reasons. We're talking about the reasons. I want to make sure it's clear to you all for sure that y'all know it, and definitely to our guests. We're not condoning cheating by men. That ain't really what men do.
Definitely not condoning it.
You feel what I'm saying? So let's make sure we're on the same page. But for the discussion, for it to be candid, we're engaging in some areas why some guy might cheat, right? Some other reasons. And again, not that they're an excuse, because it sounds like you're saying, oh, we're excusing. We're not. We're just saying what the answer about we don't know or it just happened, that ain't it. And I'm just saying it's rooted in some of these other things. Now, could the idea about the needs by being met being way too, somebody only want to be busy 2-3 times a week and he want to be busy 6 times a week. Well, that's a conflict of interest that you hopefully discuss at the beginning of relationships.
And again, that's just one example. The access is always the biggest example of a need not getting met. But there's other examples, even if it is the cooking that are, maybe petty to women, because I just seen Janelle's smirk on her face when I said that. But
I have no issue with cooking.
but I'm just saying there's other examples. There's other examples as needs not being met for a man besides the access, and it adds up.
Well,
Okay,
I
so
also
do the
think
man
that
always communicate that? Because I
that's what I'm
feel
gonna
like
say.
sometimes the man don't even communicate that when they just go outside.
They communicate
Yes.
that. Women don't listen. If you rewind this about 14 minutes ago, I said this, and women do not listen at all. And after a while, men stop talking. But here's the thing. We get candid, so I'm going to keep talking and keep telling you until you figure it out.
I think women listen. We are very attentive.
That's
So
true.
we listen.
until them emotions kick in. When them emotions kick in, y'all ain't listening.
Well,
Mhm.
that's a different
We
story.
too.
When the emotion, we got a reason for them emotions to kick in,
Right.
Yeah.
but we listen. And that's one thing we do is listen.
I won't say who, but one of the people in the comments said if they smell good, they cheating. And I'm just saying,
Sloan said we don't have
if
a
you
reason.
as a woman had
If a
on the
girl
same
is wearing
smell
the right
good, I'm
perfume,
just
I'm
kidding.
cheating.
That's your fault that you didn't have that Chanel #5 on. Yeah, I'm just
So I have a
just kidding.
question. So you know
What
how
you
we
got,
talk
Gaynell?
about the men and the women and cheating. So once the woman cheats, their value goes down. My question is for men, because we women, we go off of our self-worth and how we carry ourselves. Men, those who cheat, it's like y'all can have self-worth and self-love for y'all self versus going for her. So my question is, why don't some men have the self-worth, but they want their woman to have the self-worth so her value won't go down?
Yeah, that goes back to that example that I was sharing with you about self-esteem and self-value. You know what I mean? Like that's again, it's not an excuse, but we're egotistical, so not all men will tell you that they're weak in that area, right? So you're not going to always see that I as a man struggle with expressing myself and communicating, right? You're not going to hear that. But that's truly, one of the reasons we make it kind of a macho thing.
I got the other reason.
All right, come on, what you got?
No man wants a hoe, and all these women want the players.
Oh,
I'm talking in
No
general,
one wants a
not
player.
Tiffany's. I'm
No
just
one
talking
wants
in
a player.
general, not as Tiffany's and Carl's and Billy's.
I mean, I know y'all don't like that idea. I know y'all like, listen, if I got 10 bodies and he got 10 bodies, we're equal. That's not equal. If a guy got 10 bodies, you know what I'm saying? He on Mount
ain't the
Rushmore.
man.
You know what I'm saying? If a woman got 10 bodies, she's in the grave. She's dead. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. It's not the same.
How do you know though? So the thing is, how do you know how many bodies a woman has?
Now, I'm never going to, men don't
Okay.
ask that question.
Right.
You don't ask
Women
that
don't
question.
either.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's great. Slow say, yeah, y'all do.
No, we do not.
I want to know.
I don't need to know who
Men don't ask, but we pay attention though.
But
We
how
can't
can
say,
you tell?
that won't be disclosed
Right.
on this call. You know what I'm saying? Y'all won't have access to those answers. We love you. All right.
What are the people saying in the chat?
That's Sloan. Women always have a list somewhere. A list of what, Sloan?
Most of them don't have rosters like men have rosters.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
We
don't.
don't always have a list somewhere, Sloan. We have a nest egg somewhere. So when it's time to get up and go, we can get up and
Damn.
Mhm.
See, look.
Carl.
See, don't get started. Don't get started. We can get about that because here's the women bring them nest eggs and wanting to take all their man
So,
resources again and
let's
leave
add
him
another.
high
Right,
and
the man
dry.
provide
So
the
I
man
have. So
provider.
can men cheating? Could that also be a superficial thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be. For sure. Which is superficial, but it's still, there's something rooted, right? There's still
Right.
something rooted. It's still something rooted. Like fear of commitment, right? If you even use the word fear, and man, they don't match. But we get fearful. You know what I'm saying? We get fearful. So the fear of commitment might be another reason that a man might cheat. Like
Or
he
emotional
might,
attachment.
yeah, a man might cheat and say, well, because he's fearful of the commitment. I don't think it's necessarily fearful of the commitment. It's fear of failure of the commitment. So if I'm committed to this woman and I find out she cheated, I feel better if, you know what I'm saying? Not me. The guy may feel better if he was moving around too, because then he'd be like, all right, okay, well,
So that
not
way he
even,
can
but
get hurt.
yeah, again, that's the fear of being hurt, right? That's a fear.
We're talking about.
And what? Go ahead, Carl.
I mean, I just want to get straight because cheating. We're talking about cheating. Cheating is when you're in a relationship. Your relationship is going, and then you go outside of your relationship. You're not dating. You're not. Your relationship is established, and you go out and cheat. That's what we're talking about. Are we on the same page?
For sure.
Yeah, I
Sloan
mean,
just
there's
said
different
something real.
times in cheating, but as long as you're in a relationship and you're entertaining elsewhere, yes, that's cheating.
So Sloan just made a comment, and I think us ladies will agree.
Lord.
No, we're gonna agree this. Say everything you can think of, Gaynell. We don't need a reason. Men just love women.
Which goes back to what my therapist said. Men can cheat because it's Tuesday. They don't need a reason. There doesn't need to be a rhyme or reason. It's just, you know what, the opportunity presented itself. So it's not that I
It was
don't love
available.
her, but this woman's here right now.
Good point.
Thank you, Sloan.
And again, we are not relationship experts. We just a group of friends who like to get candid and have these conversations. I highly suggest watch our other episodes because it builds up to this.
Because as y'all can tell, it always reverts back to the woman.
I love when a man can say, you know what? Men just love women and that's why it happens. That's okay.
That's a real honest answer.
But he
Got it.
also
Okay.
said he liked her earlobe, so there is still a reason. At the end of the day, it's
But you-
something.
Yeah, it's always a reason, some underlining issue, but it's still the reason. It's just because.
You already knew
could be-
that. You already know. You
We want a child to say
Okay,
it.
so
Hey,
we
hold
agree
on.
with
Why
we
y'all?
accept that answer. We accept Salone's answer.
Well, keep reading what Sloan said
I'm
then,
not
since y'all
gonna read
accepted.
that, Sloan.
No.
Sloan said, but all women are stupid, so y'all better accept all of these answers now. You ain't about to pick what you
We
want.
don't agree with that. All women are not stupid.
We don't always agree with Salone.
No.
Well, it don't even sound like y'all agreeing with Sloan. It sounds like y'all
We
paid him to
agree
say
with
it.
that one
That
statement.
one statement.
That's it.
Man, that was a good conversation, y'all.
which
That was
is
very good.
another example is how they listen when they want to listen.
Listen, if y'all are in the
We
chat,
reading this.
exactly. If y'all are in the chat and y'all, or I don't know if our YouTube is up, but if y'all are in the chat and y'all want to come up and talk a little bit, I think Gaynell just posted the link. Is that right?
Yeah.
Y'all come on and join the conversation and tell us why women make men cheat.
It's
And he
gotta
believes
be.
that. And he believes that.
Hold on.
Why it gotta be the woman to make the man cheat? Why the man can't
It's a
take
you thing.
accountability?
Hold on.
That's
There
what
we go.
I learned from this lesson
That's what
today.
that's what it say.
So it all comes to lack of self-discipline.
A real man
And pride and ego.
is going to tell the truth and going to let, whether he's dating or in a relationship, that what it is. He should be a real man. Now, as I said this before, as boys, we and as young men, we play the field, we players, but when it's time for a relationship, you know, a real man is going to step up. But as boys and young men, we gon' lie. As young boys, the first 20 things you say to a woman is a lie, you know, to try to gain that access. But as a man, grown man, you do the opposite. You tell the truth. And if she go for it, she go for it. And if she's not, she's not. It gets to the point when he manipulates and gets into a relationship with her, and it turns out to be cheating. Now that's him still in his ways and not settled down yet. So another answer is he's not ready to settle down, and he wasn't ready when he started the relationship.
Okay, so we're all in our 40s, right? So there's still 40-year-old boys out here.
Of course.
They're
Yeah,
50-year-olds.
the fact that we spin around the sun don't mean anything. And we just keep track of that. That has nothing to do with maturity.
And if
You can be 48 and it's still like a 19-year-old.
I can accept that answer. Thank you, Billy.
Just want to give y'all the true answer since y'all like them.
And since you like
Thank you.
and since you like true answers, let me go ahead and chime in with another true answer. Since we all in our 40s and other men and women in their 40s, those men still have a little bit longer chance to get it right. Because the women in their 40s, you're running out of time to get it right.
Y'all know why? Because y'all drain us. Y'all make us run out of time.
Hey, see how that accountability goes? It's not our fault. It's y'all fault. It's the men's fault. Sounds familiar.
That's all said. Men don't mature until they 62.
Awful.
And at that point, he ain't got a choice.
Exactly. We just doomed then, huh?
But I do believe, though, Carl, like you said, Lord, am I agreeing with Carl?
Right.
Come on.
Okay,
Hold on.
when
Is
you
this thing
said
on?
that, right, when you said that real men will always tell the truth, absolutely, percent. But and it's unfortunate that sometimes there are men out there who do absolutely tell the truth, and the woman will just lie to herself. I mean, there are men out here that say, "Yes, I do this, I do that. I'm going to deal with this chick. I'm going to deal with that chick," and in some sort of way, the woman heard, "I'm just going to be with you."
Billy, what's
We'll
this
accept
topic?
that.
Billy, what's
Situations
this topic tonight?
Why do women make men cheat?
Thank you, Tiffany, for helping us answer that question tonight. We appreciate that.
I don't know why, and I'm not the good friend that's going to help you through that. But there are women out there that there's a slim, like, maybe 5% of women out there that do believe that you could change a man after he's told you that I'm gonna be with all the
And she
women that
just
I choose to be with. But I think that when we came into this conversation, we were asking why are when men are in relationships
shit.
and we both are aware that we are in this relationship, then why do you cheat in that situation?
Like you can have a good woman at home, but why would a man still go out and cheat?
Because he got a good woman and not a great woman. Why she just
Bink.
good?
Bink.
Yeah,
Dang.
Man, well, he
There
Dang.
you
mediocre.
go with his
We don't
word.
talk about no
Dang.
mediocre.
Dang, we got a good woman at home. I want a
Good
great
enough.
woman. We want a great
A
woman.
great
That's
woman.
You
that's
got
why he
your God
cheating.
sent
Got
woman
got
at
a great
home,
friend
and
at
you
work.
still out cheating.
Right. You
Okay,
gotta
well, the man got a great woman at home.
They don't get cheated on.
they don't get that's good. They ain't they listening to about You hear them talking about them?
Mhm.
We ain't got that
Mhm.
problem. Because he taking care of her.
Okay,
He's
we
masculine
talking
every
about that.
day, and she's taking care of him every day. And can't nobody get in between that.
Period with the T on that. Period. We got to wrap it up. Is that what you're saying, Janelle? We got to wrap it up.
I'm done. I'm done.
Got him.
Hello.
Them. Who is them?
No.
Last comments. What y'all got, ladies?
I guess I'll go first. If Beyonce can get cheated on, the rest of us ain't got a hot shot in hell.
And I'm sure Jay-Z niece was being met, but he went to Becky. So
Mhm.
And
Thank
he
you, Janelle.
and he told her about it, and that's why they still together.
This was final thing.
That was his final thought.
No, my final thought is why do men cheat? Real men don't cheat. Real men step up to the plate and do what they need to do and take care of business. And that woman should be doing the exact same thing, and they won't have no problem.
Well,
You gonna
my final
drag the woman in it. Go ahead, Janelle.
right. My final thought is I do believe there are some good men out there, some men that don't cheat.
Yeah.
But there is a percentage of men that do cheat just because of confidence, egos, self-esteem, whatever issues they may have. And also men don't take accountability. It's hard for a man to take accountability.
Okay, I will go. I feel like what my final thought is that men don't really have to have a reason. Sometimes there's a reason on them, but it's a you issue. And I do feel like there are some good men. And I also feel like men don't realize it until it's too late. They know what they got, but they still want to go out there. And then once they mess up their home, then they want to, think about it and realize. So I would say to all the men out there, or boys out there, old boys out there, grow up.
I think I should say anything after that. All right, this is just a story I read online. I'm sharing not any particular person on here, but a guy finally met a woman who he thought was done with all of the bull crap. Had my man smiling from ear to ear. She said that she left her ex for good, was tired of the lies, the disrespect, the pain, and cheating. So the guy, he came at her correct, made sure that she had dates, vibes, the consistency was cool, the consistency was there, even booked a trip out of the country just to show her what peace looked like. No games, no cheating, just good energy. She told him that he made her feel seen, said that he was different. Then she said she was ready. Cool. So they get back from the trip, dry texts, distances, weird behavior. And then boom, guess what the man found? The lady posted a video with the same man who dragged her through hell, and that's when it clicked. He was never her peace. He was her reset button. She used him to feel whole again just to run back to the same pain because she was conditioned as such. Lesson learned. So all my good guys, great men, next time save your love for someone who's healed, not someone who's recharging just to go back to being reckless. So the moral of that story is stop dating unhealthy, unhealed people who don't know what they want and use others to fill the void. No more free dates. Date with a purpose and don't cheat.
Yes, men, be healed when you come into a relationship.
Hello.
Thank y'all for
Thank you for coming in the mechanic. Yeah, you want to talk about the mixer?
Oh, yeah.
Before we leave, we doing a mixers as speed dating. It's gonna be on March 1st. We're gonna have flyers set out coming out soon. So be looking for that. And we also got some other great things coming up in store for 2026. So if you want to be a part of our mixer, our speed dating, you can email us at
Thank
that
y'all
email?
for tuning
candidconnections, kc.gmail.com. Candid Connections,
KC at Gmail.
gmail.com.
Thank y'all for tuning in, and make sure y'all follow us on our pages on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure y'all follow us on YouTube. Remember, you deserve the kind of love that you give. Bye, y'all.
Bye.